Okay, so we're starting off in the garage today. A bit wet outside, so we're going to change this screen out. So this is the standard S1000XR screen that you get when you purchase the bike. It's actually, I don't know whether this will pick it up. You can see there, it's got scratches all over, and it's got like hazing and all sorts of going on. This bike is only, well, it's what is it, a year? In fact, it's its birthday. Happy birthday, bike. Yeah, so it's a year old, and all I've done here is used a really soft cloth. I've used a microfiber cloth, not a cheap one, a decent one. And it is just absolutely covered in scratches. So I thought, right, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go out, I'll buy a new screen, and we'll get that replaced, and you know, hopefully that will give me some wind protection too. So I have actually fitted this screen already once, and basically went onto the motorway, did a little bit above what I should have done, and noticed violent there was no other word for it, violent shake of the front end. Thought I'd got a puncture, no idea. Anyway, turns out that it's something to do with this screen. Never heard of it before. Contacted the guys I bought it from at Pyramid Plastics. They were brilliant. Went back to the manufacturer, it was Puig, and they said, you know, 2,700 of these screens have been sold and never been a problem. So I didn't know whether it was something to do with speed related issues. Now, I must admit, when I was, you know, 60, 70 miles an hour, it felt fine. There was nothing wrong. Anything above that on closed roads, obviously, it's no good. It's shuddering. So I said that I would give it another go in case it was the wind. I did try it on the same day last time. Wasn't windy. I'll do it again just to give it the benefit of the doubt, and then we'll see where we go from there. So I was going to do an actual fitting video for this before. I didn't bother because it's so simple, but I thought, well, while I'm here and changing it, I may as well do that. So I've got a T25, I don't know whether you can see that, the little star like Allen bolt thingy, I don't know what you call them, but basically there's these 4 screws here, or 4 bolts should I say, and we loosen those off and just take that screen off. So I'm going to do that now. So inside at the back of these bolts is a little like collar, little metal collar, and that just comes out. It will be better to have it off the screen, but I'll just show you. So there's a little, I don't know whether we can focus in on that or not, a little metal collar there, and that goes inside a little rubber piece. And basically you have to squeeze these rubber pieces together and push it out, and then the reverse up when we get the other screen out. Little word of warning, this is obviously, once I take this one out, it's probably going to swing, so probably want to put something under there, but just to stop it from scratching. Of course I'm not going to bother, am I? I'm going to just bodge it. I'm just going to wing it. Okay, so that's as easy as that is. So I'm going to get these metal collars out now. Fairly easy to come out. Probably better to push it out with the other end of this this little tool. I don't know. Let's have a go. Yep, definitely. So the little rubber bungs, I don't know whether you can see those in there. There you go. So basically they just push out. Better to grab it from the inside because you can't get any purchase on the other side. Just fold it over, and it's those little devils there. You need to keep those to put in the next screen. So I'll just edit this out and make it look like I knew what I was doing and make it look easy. What can I say? I'm a pro. Okay, so we've got the Puig screen here. Which, as you can see straight off, is far bigger than the original. I got this in light smoke, and actually when I saw the size of the thing I was like, ooh, but actually it doesn't look too bad in the dark smoke, so I was quite happy with it. So just the reverse for these things. Squeeze those, basically pinch and feed it through. Sometimes they go through really easy, sometimes not. I'm just inserting the metal collars now back into the rubber. See, that one's not quite come through on the other side. Just make sure it's seated all the way around, which that is. So that is pretty much the reverse of what we did to get the original screen off. So now I'll just place this back on here. You can't really go wrong with this. With some bikes, some of these screens, there's different mounting positions, so you can get it wrong, and that was one of the questions that the guys at Puig and Pyramid Plastics did ask. But yeah, there's no room for error. You can't, it's simply in one place. If you're watching this, you probably know that, you know, we have two positions of you know, a higher position and a lower position. This is currently in its highest position. I'm just going to put these back in. Does anybody else fasten at opposite sides? I don't know whether that's a thing, but you know, I was always taught that for your car bolts, and now I do it for everything, it seems. So I'm not over tightening these. I don't want to damage the screen or potentially crack it. Just check that one, yeah. Okay, so that's done. That's it. As I said, that's in the upper position. That's in the lower, and I don't know about you, but I actually don't think that looks too bad. Obviously we've got some bug blasts on there because I did go out and try it before, as I said. So the next bit is, once this rain sods off, we'll go out for a ride and see whether it miraculously fixes itself. But I'm hopeful, but I just don't think so. It's so violent. It's like, it's the opposite of turbulence in a plane like this. It shudders from side to side, and what it actually feels like is the front wheel is coming loose, like it's like the gyroscopic effect has gone mad, almost like a tank slapper, the start of a tank slapper. If you've ever, I hope you haven't, but if you've ever experienced that, it's not a nice feeling. It's awful, scary, and yeah, that's how it felt. Now, as I said, it didn't come with a sticker to say that it's rated to a certain speed. That might be the case, and you know, that's fair enough. That's what it's designed for. It's designed to go for the roads. However, it's a touring screen, and if I'm going touring, I might be going to Germany. If I'm going to Germany on the Autobahn, you know, those figures go out the window. So, you know, I understand both sides of the argument, but let's just wait and see, shall we?
Just get on it. Oh, fucking hell. Don't pull me. It will be on the floor. What? Okay, so different day with the screen, and no wind whatsoever. It's in its lowest position currently. That was a little over what I should have been going speed wise, and it was a noticeable effect. The buffeting is awful. It's worse than the standard screen. I did speak to Pyramid Plastics, who supplied it, and they were happy to exchange it, and I think that's what will be happening, because to me it's not right. Whether there's 2,700 sales of the same screen to other riders, I don't know. They might not ride as fast as I do. I've no idea. But this is a touring screen, and you know, the speed limits aren't that high in Britain, but if you go to Germany or somewhere and you know, you hit the Autobahn, you're able to do those speeds, and it doesn't feel safe. It even affects probably from about 65 miles an hour, it affects the cornering. So, you know, not necessarily absolutely pinning it. It feels like you're driving with a wall attached, which obviously it's got the dynamics of that, but yeah, it's just not right. It's not right at all. So it will be going back.